So the next step on personal leadership is about your vision. And you need to have a vision for yourself. We're not talking about the business vision here. We're talking about your own personal vision. Where do you see yourself going? So I've created one of these vision boards. Has anybody else got a vision board in the room that they've created? Brilliant. There's a man over there who's done it. Create a vision board for the things you want. So for me, it's time with my family on holidays. This is the new farmhouse I've got, Hilly Farm. So doing it up, spending time investing in it. I actually bought it done up in 2007, thought it was done. Apparently not. There's all sorts of things that keep needing to be done, including, funnily enough, new curtains, new carpets, and all this stuff that, anyway. You know, I spend time going and doing things with the wife, with my boys. I do my martial arts, I do cycling, I do kettlebells. This is one of my clients letting me fly his plane. I don't know if you're allowed to say that on video camera, you might have to edit that bit out. But while we were up, he just goes, you have a go. I was like, ooh, oi, fantastic. Yeah, so that was good fun. No, it wasn't quite a 747, no. I want to go out spending time with my clients when they're winning awards. This is one of my clients turned up the other day in his car to show off. It's an i8, that one, BMW i8. Yeah, it's only like 1500cc engine, but the rest of it's electric. It still goes like stink. Really good. And there's my boy, he wants to be a racing car driver and go and do nice holidays, whatever. It's the, you know, what is it that motivates you? So have you got a vision for what you want to be spending time on in your life and what you want to be doing? And where you want it to be, where you want it to go. So you've got to know what is your why. And for any of you who get time to look at this, you want to watch the Simon Sinek Why. He's got a book called Why. He's got but you can read the book, but he does an 18-minute TED Talk. You know they're only allowed to be 18 minutes, so he cuts all the fluff and tells you all the good stuff in 18 minutes. It's really good. So we've got to work on this personal development. And the reason we work on the personal development is to get you thinking differently. One of my mentors in my life, a guy called Richard Wilkins, he talks about the sausage machine. He says, you have got a sausage machine, and basically if you want to get great sausages out of a sausage machine, what have you got to put into the sausage machine?
Good quality meat.
Good quality meat, exactly. Good quality meat, good quality ingredients, you know, herbs and all that sort of stuff, and that will make you good quality sausages. Now, if you sprinkle just a little bit of dog poo in there, only a little bit, who wants to eat those sausages? Nobody, right? So think about what are you putting into your mind, and what you should be putting in is good stuff, like this. Put the information into your head. This is an awesome digital marketing book we talked about earlier. This is called .com Secrets. This is one I'm just reading at the minute. You know, what are you putting in? What is the good information you're putting in? I've got absolutely, should have shares in Audible, because I tell all my clients to go on Audible and download books. Has anybody in the room got Audible? It's fantastic, isn't it? Anyway, so if you want good, you need good information in. Things like today. Also, I mean, I run a business mastermind group called a Business Accelerator Club, where we get together with other people and share good ideas and think about where we're going to go. It's an idea sharing meeting, a bit like we're doing today on your tables, I suppose, is a mini version. But if you get that good information in, you get ideas in, you surround yourself by the right people, you start getting better output. You make better sausages. Yeah? So if you're going to get anything out of today, just think about what am I putting in to get my good quality sausages. Anybody else in your business says, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. As long as you know, it doesn't matter. Okay, so first steps as well on the line then is to get yourself organised with your business side as well. Get your business plans in place. So once we've kind of developed your knowledge and put the accountability and discipline into you through something like a club or one-to-one coaching or whatever it is you do, because that's what I say, I'm like a personal trainer, but instead of training you physically, I train you in your business. And so instead of making your body thinner, I make your wallet fatter. So it's like getting that kind of discipline in place to do the things we all know we should be doing, but it's actually getting you to do it. I have a personal trainer comes every Monday morning, knocks on my door and makes me lift kettlebells, and there's no way out of it. He just knocks on my door, he's there, whether I like it or not. I've even tried ignoring it a few times, he just keeps knocking, and you just have to go and do it. You know, it's the way it is, and it makes you improve. And I think, well, if I wasn't doing it, God, where would I be? I'm at least at this stage right now. In corporates, anyone works in a corporate business before, they work to quarters, don't they? They work to quarters because it's a manageable chunk. It's close enough that you can think about things that are going to happen. It's not too far away, but it's not too short term, like in a month. You know, it gives you time to figure out, and that's why we are working in quarters today. So the next event will be in 90 days' time, so you can come back and reset your goals. Now, some people's businesses are going in different directions. There's bits they like and bits they don't like. You might have marketing going one way, operations another, finance another. What we've got to do is put in that business plan in place. As we said before, if you're an architect, you put the plan in place so you know where to build the walls, where to put the roof, where to put the electrics, and where to put the plumbing. And same with business, it gives you a focused plan that gets you to fly in formation all the different parts of your business at the same time. And that's why we use that smart sheet, because it's a centralised place that I do it with my clients, and you can basically keep that so that each head of department can see what they're supposed to be doing, what they're supposed to be at. Then the next step up is thinking a bit further ahead. So if 90-day planning is seeing the wood for the trees, once you actually kind of got a bit of a handle on what's going on, then you can start having those meetings where you start thinking a bit more strategically. And it starts happening naturally. I bring it up, I know it's one of Tony and our joint clients, but they said, I can't believe it. They're starting to plan 2018 at the moment, whereas normally they'll be planning next week or this week what's got to go on. They said, look what's happened. We've managed to get things so well organised now that we can now start looking to the future. And you'll know when you can start getting ready to start doing the strategic stuff, because the day-to-day is starting to run a bit more smoothly and you kind of know what's happening. Then you can start thinking, right, where are we going with this? Where am I taking it? And there's a book called Good to Great, and they say that those companies with a really powerful vision in this book, there's about 11 companies in it, and most of them say that those ones with the strongest vision is a bit like taking a bow and pulling it back. By putting the tension in your bow is what gives the energy to the business when you let that arrow fly. And you've got to have that tension, as in where are we going and where's the distance and where are we actually going to achieve, so that people have got something to plug into. They feel like you know where you're going. I mean, who gets on an aeroplane and goes, yeah, take me somewhere? Yeah, wherever you want to go. You've got an idea of the destination in mind, don't you? You know, you have to choose where you want to go. So figuring out for yourself, what is your vision? If you're looking at Everest, you don't need to know exactly how you're going to do this bit, but you really do clearly need to know your next plan for this bit up front. And that's like your 90-day is what's happening right in front of you, kind of looking out the windscreen of your vehicle if you're driving, but your sat-nav is planned for the end destination where you want to get to, but you don't know what's coming at you. You only need to see what's happening in front of you in your 90-day plan is as far as you can see out the window, what the signs are, what's happening, what the vehicles are on the road. Same for your business. What is happening in front of you is your 90-day plan, whereas the long distance plan is the map that you create. So one of the things I do with my clients is I create a map. I call it an alignment. We spend the day together working out where are we going, what do we need to do on the journey, and then we come out of it with a really focused 90-day plan that's going to move those first steps along. And that's something you can all do for yourselves. The next bit is to look at is, okay, let's get these quarterly plans, great, but if we don't review it every month, then it's not really helping. It needs to be like, where are we at, like a management meeting. Some of my clients use it weekly. Every week they have a weekly meeting. How are we moving towards these goals? And make sure you're reviewing it. And that's where you get that delegation coming in, because you've got a feedback loop, a mechanism for feeding back. And then obviously every quarter you reset the plan again. Press reset, reorganise it. Well, what is the culture in your business like? One of the things you need to start thinking about is, what is the culture of a business? There's a company called Zappos. Tony Hsieh is the guy who created Zappos. In 10 years, he took that business and sold it for $1.2 billion to Amazon because people told him you couldn't sell shoes online, and that's what he did. It's an amazing book. In fact, Delivering Happiness is one of my top recommended books written by Tony Hsieh. He tells you about how he created a company full of the right culture is what they spent their time on. Either it was too corporate a thing to do to start with, then he wished he did it sooner. Because it was a bit like in Christianity, you have the 10 commandments. That means as long as you generally follow those commandments, you don't actually need a priest over your shoulder making sure you're doing the right thing or not every day. So you need to have this culture in your business that sets the standards, the expectations, how people operate. And there's an example here with Zappos' culture, and you can look it up online, which is delivering a wow-through service, embracing and driving change, create fun and a little weirdness, be adventurous, creative and open-minded, pursue growth and learning, build open and honest relationships and communications, build a positive team and a family spirit, do more with less, be passionate and determined, and be humble. My favourite is create fun and a little weirdness. But anyway, it's great, you know, you hear the guy's story about how they built it and what they did. And each one came about because of a reason in their business and some change or something they had to do. And they had such a successful business because the culture was so strong. It's the thing these days that really builds a business. That guy, RJDM, who just won Jaguar Land Rover, he's got one of the best cultures in the business I've seen. He's got to keep the people from leaving and going to London and Manchester because that's where it'll all go for the industry, the 3D animation industry. They've literally got, it's called the Star Wars room that we use his boardroom to coach in, and he's got a life-size Darth Vader Stormtrooper. As you go up the stairs, he's got a Batman, full-size Deadpool. He's got a ball pit in the downstairs office where they all sit down and have creative idea sessions. Right, the whole place is just brilliant. And actually their biggest clients now come there for meetings. They have Nerf gun fights and everything. It's brilliant fun. It's like they got a big table full of sweets and chocolate bars. They got a healthy section. They got a fridge. They got a beer fridge. So all this stuff just makes it like the coolest place to work. Makes everybody love it. And his people don't leave. In fact, he has people knocking at the door wanting to come and work there because they've created the culture that makes people want to stick. You know, are you putting that 20% in a week? Where's that 1 day a week going towards developing and growing your business? Because you'll get most growth in your business by working on it rather than in it. And finally, at the top end, you would hire a CEO or an MD to run the business so that you don't need to be there. Most people in the room, they may be thinking about that and succession planning in the future. But if you're at that stage now, I've got one client that did it. The guy who had the i8 BMW, he just hired his MD to run the thing so that he can just basically go on holiday 8 times a year and turn up at my house with his flash car. That's, you know, he gets to enjoy that sort of stuff now because he's got to the stage where he can put an MD in. Now remember, it's a 90-day plan, not a 12-month plan, so don't put tons of things in there. Put in the 1, 2 or 3 things you really want to get done. Don't worry, because every 90 days you reset it and you put the next things in that you need to do. So now we're going to talk about finance. And the reason I talk about finance early on is because in business, finance is one of the most important parts of your business. In fact, I like to think of it as the pinnacle that everything is operating on, because either balancing, it's in profit or it's in loss. And your business is all about the money. Don't get me wrong. Yes, the rest of the business has got to work. But if you don't have cash in your business, you don't have a business. You got to have the best customer service team in the world. If there's no money to pay them, you don't have a business. So business is all about making sure you've got the finances right. So I'm going to give you some overview on finance. Again, we start in the center, and that's the simple things, and we move to the outer edge where things get more sophisticated. So first step is financial management. It's about knowing your numbers. Warren Buffett says the only way your business can talk to you is with numbers. You can't have a chat to it, but you can see what's actually happening by looking at the figures. You need to know what's happening in the past and what's happening in the future. You kind of create your cash flow forecast as well as looking to the past. So we also have to look at this looking forward, budgeting and reporting. Does anybody do budgets in the room? Can I see a show of hands? Anyone do budgets? Yeah, a couple of people, great. Why do we do budgets? It helps you manage the flow of cash. It's all about helping to manage the flow of cash through your business. So the P&L report, you need the data. Now, some of you may use software programs to manage your accounts. I'll see a show of hands who uses a software program. Brilliant. So if we want to measure, you want to get something done and you want to get it improved, you have to measure it. So you've got to measure the numbers in your business to see where things are working and where they're not. And you need historic numbers and these key performance indicators that we mentioned earlier. Key performance indicators by David Parmenter. The way of understanding what things, they're a bit like the pulse points on your business, or if a doctor went to see you, they'd look in your eyes and measure your temperature, measure your blood pressure. Across your business, you'll have a set of KPIs that will tell you about the health of your business.